Good evening, and welcome to my house. The monumental statues on the Pennsylvania Avenue side of the building honor the past and the future. Past exhorts, study the past, and future warns what is past is prologue. It's through our understanding of our history that we perfect our union, and no one has done a better job of making that history come alive than our honoree this evening, Steven Spielberg. The stories of Private Ryan, Schindler's List, Amistad, The Color Purple, and Lincoln can be told through the records housed right here in this building.
We are pleased to recognize Steven Spielberg with the Foundation's highest honor, the Records of Achievement Award. Not just for groundbreaking filmmaking, but for his passion for American history and his fidelity to the original historical documents that are housed here at the National Archives.
I can think of no one more deserving of this award, our award, the Records of Achievement Award, than Steven Spielberg. In a democracy with a government that sees itself, as George Washington said, as the palladium of our national safety, it is important that the people's business, the people's artifacts, the people's history be preserved for everyone's use, not confined to secret chambers or smoke-filled rooms or the cloistered towers of the academy. Our history, like our democracy, needs to breathe and be popularly interpreted, the people's stories, in essence. And that is what Steven Spielberg does so well. In films whose emotions are deep, honest, and profound, whose meaning have a half-life that is endless, that we gather here together in the shrine to our sacred words and pictures and images and documents on the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, our most cherished and meaningful speech, only gives this moment, this celebration of a cinematic genius who performs a kind of open heart surgery on all of us with each staggering masterpiece, special resonances, and permits this student here of history a few moments to rhapsodize.
I mean, starting with probably, obviously, you know, the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. I mean, that was monumental and very impactful for me to actually see the original one. And you know, from that all the way to the radar returns from a very, very nascent radar station on Oahu on December 7th, 1941. They were charting the flights of Japanese Zeros coming in to bomb Pearl Harbor and didn't know quite what it was.
So they had 37 minutes
From there
to call in the alarm. 7:02 was the first blip, and then 7:39 is the last blip. That's 37 minutes to get a warning out.
Right.
So we went from one thing to, and of course, the thing that was really amazing for me was to be able to see the 13th Amendment, see the research that we did here at the National Archives, but then when you actually see it, it's an entirely different experience. Well, I'm very humbled by this, but I feel like I should be giving them an honor. I should be presenting the Foundation of the National Archives an honor, because they let Doris Kearns Goodwin. They supplied all of her needs. They fulfilled all of her needs. Tony Kushner, when he wrote the screenplay, he was here. We were here researching what we needed to research in terms of props and all kinds of artifacts. So in a sense, I'm so honored that they're honoring me, but I feel like honoring them right back.
Within it, and whereas slaves are now used as an essential means of prolonging the war and preventing a durable peace, and whereas by the law and usages of nations it is right to liberate slaves, to weaken the enemy, and remove the cause of war. Therefore, be it resolved by the Senate and the House of Representatives in Congress assembled that all slaves within this republic are hereby declared free and and slavery therein forever prohibited, and the President is respectfully requested to proclaim the same and to direct all our generals and commanding officers to accept and protect such freed men. That's wild. Yeah, that's great.
Look, history is the most exciting thing we've got. We live in two directions. We live in the future, toward the future, and we also live not enough in the past. And I think that the greatest treasures are what came before us. Everything that led up to the present day, to our children's, livelihoods and well-being. Everything for me, and I've told my kids this countless times, depends on how appreciative they are and how much knowledge they can get from looking back, not just wanting what is available today, hoping for a future, but you got to know where you came from, and you have to know that a place like this exists. So this is a wonderful place for students to, and parents, to basically camp out. I will.